Hey, and welcome back to our channel. We've got a lot to unpack, something that's sparked a ton of buzz in the political world. Vice President Kamala Harris recently sat down for an interview on the Diary of a CEO podcast, and she got real about her time with former President Joe Biden, the 2024 campaign, and the moments that changed everything. Her honesty in this conversation has people talking, and maybe even rethinking how things played out in one of the most chaotic election seasons in modern history. So, grab a seat and let's dive in together. Now, during the interview, Harris was promoting her new book titled 107 Days. It's kind of her version of what really went down inside the Biden-Harris circle, and she didn't hold back. She talked about what she calls a turning point, a phone call from Joe Biden just minutes before one of the 2024 debates. You'd expect a call of encouragement, right? Something like, "You've got this, Kamala." But instead, according to her, Biden called to complain that some people in Pennsylvania were saying negative things about him, apparently because of something they thought she said. She said it caught her off guard. Instead of hyping her up before she went on stage, the conversation turned inward, more about his own frustrations than her preparation. She described that moment as symbolic of what she saw behind the scenes, a campaign more focused on defending Biden's image than connecting with voters. Now, here's something to think about. If your leader is more concerned about personal perception than the mission at hand, how does that affect the entire team? Can you really win when the motivation seems to shift inward instead of outward? Harris said Biden never really wanted that debate in the first place. She compared it to sports, saying, "If you don't want to compete, your performance will show it." And honestly, she's not wrong. Whether it's politics, business, or even everyday life, when your heart's not in it, people can tell. But here's where it gets more complex. Harris admitted she sensed that something wasn't right even before the debate. She said she noticed signs that Biden just didn't seem ready, mentally or emotionally, to take on another high-stakes showdown. But she kept those feelings to herself.
Why?
Because she didn't want to look like she was undermining him or trying to promote herself. That hesitation, she now says, is one of her biggest regrets. And it's a really human one, isn't it? How many times have we kept quiet in situations where speaking up might have changed the outcome, just because we didn't want to cause friction or seem disloyal? According to her, the entire campaign was on shaky ground. She described it as reckless, not in the sense that people didn't care, but that decisions were being made without truly facing reality. She says there were moments where she felt the campaign was pushing forward out of obligation, not conviction. Now, what's really interesting here is that Harris isn't just airing grievances, she's revealing the emotional side of leadership. She said she had great affection for Biden, but also deep disappointment. And that mix, affection and disappointment, is such a powerful combination. It's not anger, it's not resentment, it's almost like heartbreak. Think about that for a second. Can you love someone's vision, respect their service, and still be disillusioned by how things end up? Can loyalty exist alongside criticism? She recalled that the campaign exposed fault lines that had been simmering beneath the surface, not just politically, but personally. She and Biden had clashed before, but she said this time, things felt different. The partnership that once symbolized unity was struggling to stay aligned. But here's where Harris caught a lot of people's attention. She said she's not done. When asked if she'd consider running again, she didn't hesitate. She said, "If I feel I can make a difference, if I can offer something uplifting and set us on the right trajectory, then yes." That's a big statement. It signals that she's leaving that door wide open. And let's be honest, after hearing her side of the story, it's clear she's trying to separate herself from Biden's legacy without fully disowning it. That's a tough balance to strike. But she's making it known. She's not the same Kamala Harris who stood silently in 2024. She's more reflective, more willing to call things as she saw them. Of course, this raises a few big questions. Will this new openness win people over, or will it make some think she's distancing herself from responsibility? Can she truly rebuild her image while acknowledging the mistakes of the past? And most importantly, if she does decide to run again, will Americans trust her to lead in a new direction, or will they see this as just another political reset? In a way, Harris's interview feels like a moment of redemption, or at least an attempt at one. She's owning her story, speaking her truth, and maybe trying to reclaim her place in a political narrative that often cast her in the background. Whether you agree with her or not, you've got to admit, it takes guts to publicly critique someone you once worked alongside at the highest level of power. So, what do you think? Was Kamala Harris right to finally open up about her frustrations with Joe Biden? Or do you think it's a little too late to rewrite the story of that campaign? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, because honestly, this one's going to spark some serious debate. Thanks for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into what's really happening behind the headlines, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking political stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.